Hello everybody, welcome back. This is video number 2 and today we're going to talk about stories, the Instagram stories, which also are Facebook stories. But I'm not going to talk about how to do it. That thing is really easy to figure out. The hardest thing to figure out is what do you talk about in your stories to engage your audience and actually have conversions through stories. My name is Natasha Rajabova. I am an owner of QSI Social and a social media expert for real estate professionals. So stories. Everybody's been talking about stories for quite some time. The best thing, it lasts 24 hours, so you can always repurpose your content. It's a great way of engaging with your audience. It's also great to develop your brand, and the most important thing is to generate leads because people watch more stories than they do post, which means that you're now reaching an audience that you didn't know you have. Stories have to be exciting, educational, and they have to be quick because you only have 15 seconds if you're posting a video and 5 seconds if you're posting an image. But I'm not going to go into details about that. What I really want to talk to you about is 8 topics that you can use to create stories. So the first topic is conducting polls. You really want to engage your audience through your stories, not just post random information, but really engage them so they're actually interacting with your stories. That means they're watching it and not just skimming through them. What I mean by polls is, for example, you have 2 properties and you can ask your audience this or that, and they can reply to it. Maybe trendy colors of the walls, and you can say which one you like, this or that one. So there's a lot of different things that you can do when you're creating polls, but it's sort of a game that you play with your audience to get them engaged and come back and watch your stories. The second topic is behind the scenes. Everybody wants to know what's going on behind the scenes of a life of a real estate professional. So you can take your audience on a virtual tour of a property, but show it through the eyes of a real estate agent. Maybe showcase some sellable features that look better in video than they do in the images, and really make people feel that they're walking through maybe their future home. Other things are when you're visiting a property, visiting a pre-construction site, or just walking the neighborhood and showcasing what are the fantastic things that are happening in the neighborhood. Because you always have to remember that people don't just move into a new home, sometimes they move into a completely new neighborhood. The third topic are market updates. Now, we're not experts. We rely on you to tell us what is going on with the market. Is it a really good time to buy, or is it a really good time to sell? So you can actually post this in an image and give a little description with a video, in an infographic, or have them go to an article and read more about the market updates in a certain area in your niche area. The fourth topic is really engaging with the community. And what do I mean by that is you really want to grow within your niche audience or your niche area. And the way to do that is showcasing the local restaurants, the local stores, or a community event that is happening in your area. When you are showcasing, let's just say, for example, a restaurant, and you are tagging that restaurant in your story, it's more likely that that restaurant will tag you back, which now you're open to a bigger audience, the audience that didn't know anything about you before they saw a story on that restaurant's storyline. The fifth topic is ask a question. So you would place that sticker into your stories and ask people to ask you questions about real estate. That way you are there for them and you're opening up conversation with your audience. Maybe they have a question, but not sure who to ask. Maybe they don't want to ask another realtor because then they feel like they're going to be, bombarded by properties or pushed into buying or selling, but they really just want to ask someone a question. And that person can be you, and that could be through social media. Again, you're engaging with your audience, you're making them feel welcomed and at home, and you're really connecting with them on a completely different level. Also, when they're asking you a question and you're answering them, you can feature them in your stories as well, which means you're producing content. Screenshot the questions for future references somewhere that, if you need to fill in content, you can actually place that question in your stories as well. The sixth topic is building anticipation. So for example, you have a property coming soon and you really, really want to showcase that in your stories. So you start teasing your audience with maybe images of one room or a kitchen or things like that, and placing a countdown sticker in your story saying this house will come on the market in whenever that house is coming on the market, right? Let's just say in 3 days. People who are looking at your properties and looking at your stories, maybe they'll be interested in this property and they can actually place a reminder on their phone. Instagram can remind them that this property is coming in the market just by clicking on that countdown sticker that you have there. But it builds anticipation, it builds that interest in what it is that you're doing and makes your audience come back for more. The seventh topic for your stories is promoting your post. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, the posts are viewed less than stories. And if you're not consistent with your post, people might not actually see what it is that you have to say. So what you can do is actually share your posts in your stories. So you can lead with some couple of videos just discussing the topic and then drop your video in the stories. And you will notice that there are more views and reads of your post through the stories than any other way if you would have put it in a newsfeed and just left it there. And that's what a lot of real estate professionals do who are active on social media. They share their post in their stories, but they also talk about that post, which means it creates interest to actually click on that post and read it. And the eighth and the last topic for your stories is highlighting testimonials or reviews. When you're working with clients and you're in a service business, reviews are everything. So if you don't have reviews yet, call a couple of your clients and ask them to provide a review for you. When people are happy, they don't bother actually going somewhere and saying that they're happy. They put bad reviews when they're not happy and they want to let the world know that they're not happy. So why don't you call a couple of your clients and ask them for a very nice review, or a review of your business for that matter, and use it in your stories. You can actually use it in a post as well, but use it in the stories, and that way, again, you're connecting with your audience and you're showcasing that, you know what, people like your service, people like what you do. Reviews or testimonials are everything in the business. So here we go. Very quickly, we went through 8 topics for your stories. And because it's 24 hours lifespan of a story, you can repurpose that content on a regular basis. You can expand on it, and it doesn't mean that each topic is one story. You can actually create an array of stories just with one topic and use it on a regular basis. If it's 8 topics, well, let's just say it's more than a week of content for your stories that you have. Thank you very much for being with me in this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.